Greetings, everybody. It is Friday evening, October 16th, 2015 at this end, and since I have obligations this weekend, I am going to do this tonight and get it out for everybody and try to keep up our regular cadence. Where do we start? Boy, I am excited. I am falling in love. I am falling in love again, and I am falling in love with the markets. I am falling in love with this business. You know, it's interesting what we've tried to do here for the past many years now, and even in years before we did the blog, is have a different kind of site, a different kind of trader site. There's so much about analytics out there. There's so much on technical analysis. There's evening prep and morning prep and all that kind of stuff. And I want to continue to do something that I haven't seen done anywhere else based on your feedback. And that is just talk to you with complete transparency. What's going well, how I'm feeling, what's not going well, my struggles, my challenges, my successes, because I enjoy talking about that stuff, and it seems, based on your feedback, that it continues to be of some benefit for some crazy reason. So I want to keep doing this, and yes, I am falling in love again. You know, if you go back over the many years that we've been doing this now, and I've even done this in terms of seeing how much I've aged, but you know, I think that you can sense, and even in the book and in the blog, you can sense when I'm excited or when I'm not excited, when I'm tired, when I'm not tired. We are all human beings, folks, and unless we want to buy a system that that's robotic and allows us to go, you know, lay on a beach somewhere, you know, we're always going to be dealing with trading the markets from a discretionary basis based on what we've been able to assimilate as human beings, and we carry all the good and the baggage in terms of being humans in this business. So you go back over the years, you've seen times when I've been tired, you've seen times when I've been burned out, you've seen times when I've got hammered, you've seen times when I've had successes, and all you can do is try to keep that even keel and recognize that any day in and of itself doesn't really mean a whole lot. But as I look at larger chunks of my trading interest and careers, among other business efforts, it does ebb and flow. I think that we can maintain a certain wave of emotion or momentum in any endeavor in life, and ride it and go all out and then back off. And the Tao of Poker book talks a lot about this, that at times it's just good for you to sit back, and you have to sit back and let others take the lead, if you will, and then there will always be times for you to jump in. And I'm seeing that in my own trading, and really in terms of the passion. I think one of the reasons is I've spent so much time mentoring and teaching, and that in and of itself carries a drain, or results in a drain in energy, and is a different way to go about the business. Now what I'm doing for the moment is I'm just trading alongside a group of traders. I've mentioned this before, and it is fun. It is really fun. There's no pressure to chat or inform or instruct. It's just, you know, people trading alongside of other good people, and it's great. It's fabulous, and it's actually helped fuel my passion a little bit more. The one challenge I think any of us have in trading in a group environment, whether in person or online, is that you cannot let it distract from your focus. And I saw that in my own trading a little bit this week, and I see that in others as well. And just a word of caution out there. For example, today, as I would normally do last night, MATD, right? We talked about this last week. Last Thursday ended up with a ramp, teeing up MATD for the 3 sessions, Asia, Europe, and US, and then exact same pattern, almost a duplicate when you look at the charts. So in order for me to do that effectively, I have to do that pretty much in silence, and did that. And then joined the group later on. But again, I'm just enjoying this. I recognize and will always know that this business is crazy and has challenges and all that kind of stuff. But it is fun. It is fun, and it's one of the reasons that I was drawn to this. It's one of the reasons I think that those of us who have been able to survive the hard knocks and survive the occasional dings, even to this very day, keep going back at it. It's because of the passion and the excitement and the challenge. I've often said it's like doing a double-sided jigsaw puzzle every day. But fortunately, we have the picture, and it's almost like the pieces are numbered. A lot of mail has come in lately on MATD, morning after trend day. There's a lot of stuff in the blog, a lot of stuff in the book, obviously. Keep in mind the book is about 70% of the selected blog entries, and then 30%, which is probably the most important part, kind of leading the career up to the blog, and then talking about it after and putting everything in perspective and really wrapping it all together. But there's a lot of stuff in there. A lot of emails, people sending me charts and pictures. Have I got it right? Was this the entry? And yes, I mean I've said it so many times. It remains the most high probability market pattern in the world. You never know when that trend's going to take off. You just never know. You can kind of gauge over the course of a day whether it's going to happen, and ride it. But nobody can predict that with a high degree of probability. So if you can get a good chunk of that trend day, great. And again, the trading like a jellyfish, adapting to the market that's presented to us, eating off the menu that's provided to us, like we talked about last week. So I mean, it's again, you can do something with the trend, but knowing the trend has happened after the evidence has produced itself, then the next day, bang, oscillations and preferably try trading off a prior day support, which again, Europe. But I got a couple bonuses this morning because if I look at my charts, it was actually we get a great entry. Normally, you don't get a great entry pre-market U.S. You get the Europe entry often, which happened very, very early in the morning, 3, 4 a.m. But then another sweet spot, which was around 7:15, 7:30 a.m. Eastern, that we don't normally get. Normally, you get Asia and Europe, very easy flow. Very readable flow, and then the U.S. Day session opens, and it's people battling in and out, and it's kind of it's hard to position with any degree of size. I mean, you can do it on price levels, which is what we do, but the nice slow steady drop into solid support, and then some consolidation before it took off right before the U.S. Open. My first trade of the U.S. Open, actually, the regular hour session was a short. Because we gapped up and put in quite a bit of air between price and support, and once the retail folks have come in and bought, short of that, taking it down to support, which is not really the way I prefer to do it, and certainly had some longs later in the day, but so long in the Asia session, long in the Europe session, didn't take any shorts on either of those two sessions, but in the U.S. session, I did take a short on that first entry before positioning later on. So it all depends on kind of what the market is doing and when. But I've learned long enough. I've been doing this long enough to know that this business, you never quite know when something's going to happen, and you always have to be ready. You always have to be prepared. I've said before that you don't know when that busload of customers is going to show up at your store, and you just have to be ready. You have to be ready. You have to be alert. You have to be prepared. And if anything that Boy Scout training taught me ages ago is being prepared, and boy, does that come through in this business. So anyway, if you detect a little excitement, a little passion in here, congratulations. It's just something that I'm 54 now, and I've said that many times, not to boast or not to say I'm too old for this, but life does take its toll a little bit. Raising a family and balancing careers, multiple careers. I do have a business interest outside of trading. That's very important to me. That provides me a sustainable income. But trading is my passion. Trading's my passion, and those efforts kind of come and go. And I enjoy doing those as well. But this is it. And it's just been wonderful to join with again old friends and newer friends in terms of the trading community. So anyway, what's going on at this end? Again, just sharing thoughts from a trader at this point in his career. Essentially, I mentioned a number recently, $10 million. It's a real number. It's a real target. It is really causing me to open my mind. It's really causing me to do things like buy some new books, which are around here somewhere. Apparently, they're not important enough for me. One is called Thinking Big, and this other one is called Compound Effect. And the human mind is such an interesting creature in terms of just really opening up your mind to the possibilities. And it has taken me a long time to scale and to really understand that we are not limited. A lot of the challenges I think that many of you folks are facing between trying to make 50,000 a year and 100,000 a year in trading, or 100 and 250, or maybe like I was doing several years ago when I was trying to make that lump from on an annual basis from a couple hundred to a million. Those were all steps, and they were all painful steps, and they were all a bit of an awakening. And you just continue the process. You do, I think, have to be motivated to do that. You really have to prioritize as such. And as I'm now in this phase in my career and really looking and in the process of continuing to up the stakes, it has been interesting. It's what keeps me going. It's when I look at the bucket list of trading, if you will, I still have several things that keep me going that I'm still after, and hopefully it won't be my Moby Dick. But there's certain things I want to do. So I have that continuing target. Someone asked me last week via Twitter, via email, if that's an annual target. No, it's not an annual target. It's just a target. In fact, there's no time frame associated with it. It's a multiple year target. And I'm along the process, but it's not an annual target. Okay, don't be silly. At least not from my perspective. But it's very important to me. It keeps me centered. It keeps me balanced. It keeps me from playing small. So that's going on. That's important to me. What else will I talk about again? I was saying that it's no different than you folks scaling up size. And the only reason I'm doing this is to share some silly comments, I guess, with you folks that I have to keep reminding myself. I saw someone tweeting today that he uses Twitter pretty much as his blog, as his journal, trading journal. I think that's great. When I tweet, I tend to do that too, although I find it distracts my focus too much to really do much over the course of the trading day. But this is all done for just trying to, if you think you're alone doing this and you think you're alone doing challenges because everybody in chat rooms and on the web seems to be just making money hand over fist, okay? I'm here to tell you that this business is real in that it doesn't always happen, but it can happen and it will happen if you do persevere and if you commit yourself hard enough to that. Gosh, what else? I tweeted today questions I will always ask. Why is the sky blue? Why is dirt brown? Why do people always trade MATD morning after trend day like the trend day? And I guess the answer to that is if people didn't do that, there would not be the oscillations and the wholesale opportunities when people are trying to continue to buy, as in this case, buy as if the trend's going to just go to the moon in the morning. And the markets just don't do that. They have to adjust to the new price level. They'll oscillate back and forth. And again, that's where I arguably make probably about 75% of my profits is after the market makes that move. And I said this a while ago too. The only thing that matters, folks, is growth in your equity curve, growth on your P&L. It doesn't care if the market goes up 1,000 points in a day. I mean, what matters is your P&L. That's what matters. And if the market's flat all day long and you're up, whatever the number may be, that's trading. That's trading. And yes, we do have to adjust to the longer term swings. And we've had a couple of great examples lately where higher time frame traders came in and you have very clear traps laid and cups, bull cups in this case, laid on the hourly time frame where just trading mentality. Why do these patterns play out? It's because anybody who was stuck short on the lows or ticked off for not being long, those two populations provide buying pressure. Okay, they have to. Okay, 100% of the time they have to. Forget the probabilities, they have to. The issue becomes the extent of their involvement and how far they can push it. And you can look to higher time frames, you can look to internals to help gauge that to get the probability, which is less than 100% on your side. But in terms of the fact that there's a subset of people that have to do this, that's guaranteed. All right, that's guaranteed. And once you understand human psychology, then that's when a lot of these patterns make sense. I've often told traders that and I've actually quizzed traders in various speaking engagements and in some of my courses. I show them a chart. I say, "What do you see?" And they'll tell me a pattern, or they'll go on and on. But rarely do they answer the question with the answer that I'm looking for, which is, I see traders. I see traders. Okay, when I see a pattern, when I'm looking at today and even yesterday, where there was even one time yesterday where I was long early in the morning and it dipped briefly and I scratched it, which I should not have done. Rule number one, correct errors immediately. Okay. get back in. Okay, well, getting back in, you realize, first of all, that other people, if you felt that way, other people feel that way. And if you are right, which you should be far more times than not, once you understand this business, then you can start adding your own buying pressure. I don't care if it's 1 or 2 contracts. It accumulates over time, and you force the market. You create additional momentum, I should say, to have the market move in your direction. That's why markets move. And I'm sorry if I get preachy, but I get excited and passionate again about this stuff, because that's the answer I want to hear. When you look at a chart, I want you to see traders. Forget the technical analysis. Technical analysis over time should just confirm what you are seeing and what you feel. Okay, a couple times this week trading alongside guys, I did share what I was doing. I said, I can't even tell you why I'm doing this other than it's feel. There's no selling pressure. I can't really point to a technical indicator, but folks, it's IIAGD. If it ain't going down, it does go in the path of least resistance, and so that's just the way it should get to at some point for you. The volatility changes in the market. Interesting, because it's now far easier, of course, to put a position on and hold it. You don't have to have your exit trader, as I like to call that side of your brain, as engaged. And if he's chomping at the bit, just give him something to eat and have him step aside for a little bit, because it's not about exits in this business right now. It's about entries. And I have to continue to remind myself several times this week, and I got out too soon, and had to remind myself, or the market reminded me, that Don, this is not what you should be doing, what your exit traders should be doing. That's really what I have for you. Again, it's wonderful. I want to share the return to my passion, if you will. Again, ebbs and flows over the course of your career, and it's okay. Again, if that happens for you, I'll certainly share any takeaways, any light bulbs from some of the books I'm reading. But I'm really looking to continue connecting with everybody. I'm looking to continue to build a trading community, continue to network, I should say, with a trading community of some very fine people. And just a shout out to those who have emailed me. For those of you who are on Twitter, we are traders. We are traders, and we should have a continued passion and love for this business. And when it's time to step away, step away. I have no qualms about doing that. I've done that several times over the past 20 years, stepping away from the limelight. But I keep coming back because I love this. I love the people, and I think what we're doing here continues to be a little bit different in terms of sharing with you the human side of trading. People tell you trade without emotion. I'll tell you, and I said this to the guys this week. I said, I heart revenge trading. I love revenge trading. Every book in the world says don't trade based on revenge. I do so well when I trade on revenge. I mean, I have to be fired up. I have to be the relief pitcher coming in, gearing up, bases loaded, 3-0 count. You're up by 1 run. What are you going to do? Get up there and just mamby-pamby throw the pitch? Come on. You do have to have some emotion. But the key, I think, is to channel the emotion. Channel it. Look at all the successful athletes. Look at Brady. Look at any. I mean, these people make up reasons to fire themselves up. That's what gets them excited. But they methodically. That's inside. But then they methodically execute. And so there's a separation there. But please, I want to be emotional about trading. Every single time I want to be emotional about trading. Why not? Let's have some fun in this business. That's what I have. Hope it helps for whatever reason. We'll connect again next week. I'll be a little bit more active on Twitter, coming up on 3,000 followers, which is very humbling. That's not why we're doing this, but certainly tells me that there's growing interest. My name is Don Miller. Please take a look around the blog. The book, again, all proceeds go to charity. Chronicles of a $1 Million Trader. We'll do some live classes later on next year, but that's not what I'm here for. So anyway, God bless you. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. Take care. Bye.